Now, let's take a look at another modified version of the palindrome problem. For this, we consider a string to be a palindrome if it reads the same in reversed order even when all non-alphanumeric letters are removed and cases ignored. Because now we allow all non-alphanumeric letters to be removed and cases to be ignored, this allows for more variations of string to be still considered as palindrome. As an example, a string of a man, a plan, a candle, Panama is still considered palindrome because once you remove all those non-alphanumeric letters such as spaces and comma and also ignore the cases, this string actually reads the same going forward and reading also from backward. As an example, a string that says Abel was I saw Elba. This, as weird as it may seem, is still considered palindrome because once you remove spaces, comma, and the last exclamation mark, and also ignore the cases, surprisingly, this string also reads the same going forward as well as going from backward. So now let's brainstorm how a function can be written to solve this problem. This is the high-level strategy that we can use. It is the same as the strategy for the first palindrome problem, but with extra checks for alphanumeric values and handling to standardized character cases. And now let's take a look at the code. Here we have a solution that looks very much similar to our original solution. Once again, we have the left and right index that are supposed to help with our two pointer techniques. And we also have the same while loop condition where we want to do operations until the left index and the right index meet each other. But inside the while loop, we have these additional checks for non-alphanumeric values. The idea behind these additional checks is that we want to skip over any characters that are not alphabet or that are not numeric. So inside this first inner while loop, we're checking if the characters that are being pointed by the left pointer or the left index is alphanumeric or not. Because if it's not alphabet or numeric, we want to skip over unless the left index is already crossing over the right index. Similarly, we want to do the same check again for the character being pointed by the right index or the right pointer. We check if that character is alphanumeric, and if that's not the case, then we want to skip over by decrementing the index by -1 until we get to a character that is actually alphanumeric, or until the left and right index crosses over. Once we do these checks, now we're actually sure that the characters being pointed by the left index and the right index are actually alphanumeric. And because we also want to ignore the cases, now we want to also standardize the casing. So here, we also turn the characters that are being pointed by both indexes into a lowercase. And we check to see if they're equal to each other. If they're not equal to each other, then we conclude that that string is actually not a palindrome. But if they're equal to each other, then we proceed to check the next character. So here we are incrementing the left index by 1 and decrementing the right index by -1. And repeat this until we either reach a conclusion that the string is not a palindrome, or we actually exit out this loop and conclude that the string is indeed a palindrome.